So there are a number of ways in which sleep disorders and neurodegenerative conditions are linked. We know that there are some neurodegenerative conditions in which sleep or aspects of sleep deteriorate in the prodrome to these kinds of conditions. A really good example of that is Parkinson's disease. We know that individuals with Parkinson's disease will very frequently present with a particular condition of sleep called REM, sleep behavior disorder, whereby they act out their dreams because the mechanisms that normally paralyze us in dreaming sleep or REM sleep go awry. And sometimes this can occur up to several decades before people will go on to develop Parkinson's disease. But in recent years, attention has very much been shifted towards conditions like Alzheimer's disease or other forms of dementia. And there have been a number of different areas of research that have linked the two together. The question really, which remains unanswered, is whether or not sleep disturbance in various forms gives rise to conditions like Alzheimer's disease, or at least increases risk of Alzheimer's disease, or whether sleep disorders, things like insomnia, poor quality sleep, a disruption of our internal body clock, our circadian rhythms, might be part of the prodrome to conditions like Alzheimer's disease. So the glymphatic system is a parallel to the lymphatic system within the rest of the body. So it's a mechanism by which extracellular fluid is removed from the brain substance itself. And there are very small channels within the brain that allow this extracellular fluid to be reabsorbed. One of the functions of the glymphatic system appears to be the removal of the breakdown products of metabolism and other proteins away from the brain, including a protein that is very heavily implicated in the pathology that seems to underlie Alzheimer's disease, a protein called beta-amyloid. And even a single night of sleep deprivation seems to dramatically shift the removal of beta-amyloid from the brain. So a big area of research has been this association between sleep and the glymphatic system. And indeed, there is some evidence, quite strong evidence, that particularly in the deeper stages of non-REM sleep, the capacity of the glymphatic system to remove these kinds of byproducts of metabolism is dramatically increased by up to around 60%. So if you have this waste removal system that seems to be promoted by deep sleep, deep non-REM sleep, then you begin to have some insights into what the potential mechanisms are for sleep disturbance to give rise to conditions like Alzheimer's disease. If you're getting very little deep sleep, then that might impair that mechanism by which all of these toxins and proteins like beta amyloid might accumulate within the brain. That's not the only mechanism, however, because it's important to remember that one of the main functions of sleep, as it's currently conceptualized, is in the movement of memories from our hippocampus to our neocortex. So basically taking memories from our short-term storage into our long-term storage. So that may have a role as well. And we also know that there are certain sleep disorders that may give rise to inflammation within the brain, that might give rise to damage to the blood vessels. And all of these processes can increase the risk of cognitive decline later on in life.